Hey there, it's Radhika. Welcome to DataZan. I'm super excited to kick off this channel for spreading knowledge in regards to data analytics industry. Get ready for a video every Monday. If you like the content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Today I'm going to present my solution to Workout Wednesday 2024 week 4, and I'm going to recreate this visual. We will first import the dataset, choose location and temps, click on transform data. Temp and location both don't require data cleaning. To get the date table, I'm going to add a blank query, and then I've got this M query from Enterprise DNA channel. Give the link in the description below. Then I am going to enter the start date and end date for the date table. It's from 1st of January 2024 to 31st December 2024. Then I'm going to rename the table as date and then close and apply. Next we go to model view, and I'm going to connect the dates of temp with the date table that I have created, and then I'm going to create two new measures. The first one will be the month and year abbreviated. For this I'm going to use format function, giving the first argument as the date, and then the format is MMM and then space YY. The column is now loaded. We're gonna sort it by month and year. Next measure that we are going to create is the day of week abbreviated. So for this we're going to use the left function. Left, giving it day of week name as the first argument, and then 3 because we want first 3 letters of the day name. We are going to sort it by day of week number. Now after that we are going to create the visual, which is a matrix, and the columns will be the day of week name abbreviated, the column which we create, the measure that we created, and then in values we are going to add the high and low from the temp table. We're going to rename them as high and low because that's what is required in the visual. Afterwards we are going to turn off the column subtotals and row subtotals, and then we are going to adjust the font and then switch values to row because that's the format which is required in the visual. And then I'm just adjusting the size here so that we can see, and then we are going to adjust the font for row headers, and similarly for the column headers as well. Adjusting the size of the visual, and then in specific columns we are just going to arrange the alignment for both high and low rows so that it aligns in the center. And here is a little trick that increasing the decimal places for one of the rows, and then I am going to switch off the auto width adjustment for column headers by going into options. And now I am going to again bring it down to a 0 decimal place. Next we need to add background, so clicking on the background, conditional formatting should be done on a gradient basis and choosing the light red and the dark red color for the minimum and maximum values. Click on OK, and then for adjusting the font, this is based on rule, and the rule is if the sum of high is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 45, then less than or equal to 45, then it should be black. The next rule is if it's greater than 45 and less than the maximum value, less than or equal to maximum value, then white color. Click on OK. Similarly, we are going to do this for the low series, turning on the background. For conditional formatting, the color is based on a gradient, light purple color to dark purple color. For font, similar, it's based on a rule. The rule is when sum of low is greater than equal to 0 but less than equal to 23, then giving it a black color. Next rule is if it is greater than 23 but less than or equal to the maximum value, then we're going to put it as white. Click on OK. And next, I'm just going to adjust the alignment of the column headers so it aligns in center, and turning off the banded row color for row headers and putting the alignment as left aligned. In grid, I'm going to give a white color to the grid. Jumping on to the next visual, which is a bar chart. X-axis will be the day of week abbreviated and month year abbreviated measures that we have created, and the y-axis will be the high temperature column from the temp table. Turning off the title of the visual, adjusting the values of x-axis, fonts of x-axis, and turning off the title. Similarly, turning off the y-axis title and adjusting the font for y-axis. Adjusting the size of the visual so that we can see how it's looking, and then turning on data labels, and then adjusting adjusting the position so it comes outside as we need in the challenge, and then turning on the error bars on sum of high, it's by field. Now we are going to add a measure called lower bound, and that will be equal to a constant value of 0. And for upper bound, we are going to select the low column from temp table, and for the lower bound measure that we have created just now. And then in bars, we are going to adjust the width, change the color, and mark shape as none, and adjusting the border color and giving a border size of 2. For error labels, we're going to turn on the error labels, giving it a green color, and changing the font size. Going to go to columns and adjust the column color as well. Just going back again in the error labels and removing the bold from the error labels and increasing the size. I am now going into the data labels and adjusting the size of the data label so that we can see them more clearly. And now I'm just aligning it to the previously created matrix. Now there are 3 text boxes that are required. I have already copy pasted the text. Now I'm adjusting the font sizes as per the challenge, and then aligning it with the rest of the visuals. I'm just removing the padding, the top padding, and then creating another text box which tells the location, and changing the fonts. And then copy pasting this to create another text box, and in that we're going to write the temperature. Adjusting the font. I'll just adjust these so they look not stacked on top of each other but have a breathing space between them. I'll just change the size. It looks too big, so 16 looks good. Now I'm just adding a footer. So it's a Workout Wednesday challenge. I'll just adjust the font so it's not so bright. And now to adjust the tooltips. That's the last thing in the challenge. So turning off the tooltips for error bars because we don't need them. And in tooltips for the visual, I'm going to add the low because that's not available right now. And then I'm going to rename the sum of high as high temp and sum of low as low temp to align with what's provided in the challenge. And then renaming the day of week name and month and year abbreviated as well, so that it looks similar to what is given in the challenge. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one.